Excellence.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Oh my gosh, welcome back to the Nina Ear Show. I'm your host, Nina Ear. Of course, another video with us. I hope you're not fed up of us already, but we are here. And this, of course, if you're watching this video for the first time, this is my husband, Bishop Thomas. And we're going to be sharing today. Welcome back to the show.
Great to be here.
How can I forget to say welcome back? You're our guest. We're going to be sharing today on marriage roles. We're going to be sharing on marriage roles. I thought this was a very important thing to talk about because a lot of people really don't know or understand or appreciate that in your marriage there are roles. And those are not roles as to say bedroom roles or kitchen roles, you know, just trying to be a little bit naughty. Yes, but there are roles that you play in your marriage, and these roles are really important. So I'm going to have my husband here. We're going to share. And we're going to be sharing it in a way where we're talking about our own marriage, because you must be able to give a person an example. If you're going to be telling me about something that's so profound, I want to know from your perspective, your experience, or even if it's someone that you use as an example, the person must have shared or must have been through something for me to know, okay, this is an experience and you've came out on top, you've had the victory, you know. So we can definitely share on such things because this is our life and our life journey and our experiences and so on. So yeah, so the good, the bad, the indifferent, the ugly, the beautiful, everything is mixed in one, just like the Lord love it. Yes. Okay, so if you are new to the channel, thank you for joining us. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel, and turn on your notification bell if you want to receive every new video, because like I said, my husband's going to be joining me in many of these videos. So let's talk about marriage roles. How important is it for women and men to know their roles in marriage?
It is critical. It is foundational. If you don't know marriage roles before you enter into marriage, you are most likely going to have a marriage crash.
Absolutely.
Going to have a marriage accident. So it's very important to understand marriage roles, because marriage was created with rules in mind.
Yes. If you can expand a bit, when we say marriage roles, when we talk about marriage roles, what are we exactly referring to so that people get it totally?
In marriage, when God created marriage, He defined how each party should interact with one another.
Yes.
Now we see He begins with Adam, and He says that Adam needs a helper.
Yes.
Comparable to him.
Yes.
So that's very insightful. So it means he needs a helper who's configured for his mission and for his assignment.
That's right.
Which indicates to you that not every woman can help every man.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
And so he said, so the word wife is the word helper.
Yes.
And in fact, a woman is a wife before she's your wife. It's why the Bible says, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing.
Yes.
Which means she already has the spirit of a wife. And who's a wife? It's a woman that has the spirit and the ability to help a man by giving him wings to fly.
Wow, that's profound.
A wife is a wing giver. It's why the Bible speaks about a virtuous woman. Literally what it means a woman who comes with a force.
Yes.
She comes with virtue.
Yes.
The Bible says that virtue left Jesus.
Yes.
So a virtuous woman is a woman who has a virtue that can come into a man and lift the man higher than he was.
Amen.
And push him further.
Yes.
And add things to him that were not there. Awesome. She comes with a virtue.
Yes.
Now the women who come with trouble and then the women who come with virtue.
A little bit of trouble. Some people will say a little bit of trouble is good. It depends on what trouble we were talking about here.
Yeah, no, we are talking about
just toying with you.
Devilish trouble.
Devilish trouble. No, I'm just joking with you. Okay, so what role do you play in our marriage?
Okay, so the word husband
Yes.
is actually a title that describes a function.
That's right.
It comes from the word husbandman. It comes from the word husbandry, which is an agricultural term. So a husband is a man who can cultivate the best out of a woman. So the word husbandman speaks about a man creating a greenhouse for his wife, for his woman to actually blossom.
Yes.
So if a man cannot cultivate you, he's not your husband. He's really, God will not give you. Now, if you're already married, that's different.
That's what I'm saying. I'm
But
like,
if you're-
don't get divorced now.
If you're single and you're looking for a spouse, God, and you're seeking to do it God's way,
Yes.
God will not give you a man who is not a husband.
Right.
Because the word, He created the word husband.
Yes, understood.
And the word husband means, it's an agricultural, it's a word, it means cultivator.
Yes.
So a man who is a husband is a man who can cultivate a woman.
Yes, but what if you don't know that, which we spoke about in the previous video? So please watch all our videos from part 1, to now, so you can understand what we're talking about even deeper. So I do understand, but what role do you play in our marriage?
In our marriage,
Yes.
I'm the cultivator.
Yes.
And I actually cultivate my bride. And
Yes.
I cultivate.
Who's your bride? You said my bride, like
My bride.
like she's some random
No.
bride. Who's the bride?
My bride is in front of me. She's a virtuous woman, and she definitely came into this marriage with virtue.
With virtue. Amen. The thing is that sometimes as women we have these virtues, which is why I said the man could, obviously he could be a husband with the cultivations assets inside of him, virtue, but he doesn't know it, because if you don't know yourself and even understand that word, you will not know what to do. So it's why it's good these types of shows can help you to know that it is there, or if there's any marriage seminars and stuff, I guess. But how can a man know though that he is a cultivator? How? Because I'm sure there are men who have that virtue but they don't know.
Now you have to understand that there are different types of men.
Yes.
Who actually
we always go in some other direction how we start.
Yes, who actually wanna.
But it's good.
Who wanna have a romantic relationship.
Yes.
And there's some men I would not advocate.
Yes.
So there are men. You have the first type of man. I call him the predator.
Okay.
So he's a predator.
But what if a predator need deliverance and he has predatory skills, but what if he just need the predator to be delivered out of him?
Well, a woman can choose whether she is the vessel on which the deliverance trial will take place.
But that's why we said that you should have your person be delivered, go through deliverance, take them to a deliverance minister, have them deliver, have conversations. You don't do it on your own if you're not sure.
I think here's the key point, and you've made such a great point. Now here's the thing, not every woman is wife material.
That's right.
Not every man is husband material.
That's right. Whether he's a predator or not.
Not yes.
Right.
So you need to understand, because husband, when they say a man is a husband,
yes.
Like when I was 19 years, I was not husband material.
Exactly.
Right? But I was a man.
Exactly.
I had enough sperm in me to actually produce a child. Yes. But I was not husband material.
That's right.
So there are men who at the age of 60 are not husband material.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's really key to understand that not every man is husband material. A man who is a husband is a man who knows how to care and cherish and nourish a woman, because Paul said that men should do what? Cherish and nourish their wives. Yes. So these are two things involved in cultivation. Cherish means the woman is what? Precious to you. Yes. Okay, so there are men who they cherish 7 different women. Wow. So that means there's no cherishing. Yes, yes. Okay, so
it's split.
It's split. Yes. So the first thing the Bible says, it says a man should, in Ephesians chapter 5, when he speaks about husbands, he says husbands should love their wives as they love their own bodies and cherish and nourish them.
Yes.
So the word cherish means that you have the ability to make one woman very precious.
Yes.
And she's precious to you.
Yes.
So you cherish her.
Like us.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So I definitely cherish you.
Of course you do.
So
of course.
So cherish. The word cherish means to place in a place of very high importance, but just not high importance, but you have tender care and love and delight in.
Yes.
So that's cherish. Now, we have the second aspect, because if we say cherish, there are many men that could cherish a woman.
Yes.
But the second one is defining, nourish.
Nourish, wow.
Nourish means that you're able to nourish the woman's spirit, the woman's emotions, the woman's intellect.
Wow.
It means, so if that is where you can have a situation where a man does not have the ability to actually nourish the woman that he cherishes.
Yes.
So whilst he cherishes her, he cannot cultivate her.
Wow.
He actually cannot
profound.
grow her because there's such a gap between he and the woman that he cannot even understand the woman's world.
Wow.
He cannot even speak the language of the woman. But he will cherish the woman, but he cannot nourish her. And what then happens is the woman cannot truly say, this is my cultivator. This
but
is
then
my...
if husband means husband, yes, and it means also a cultivator, then can the woman truly say, this is my husband?
On paper.
On paper you can, but
not
in your heart and...
In practice.
Yes. Wow, that is so profound. Oh my goodness. Like,
we don't know this,
yes.
and so it's there are cultures that know this.
Yes, of course.
There are cultures that have more understanding of this. There are other cultures that don't. But marriage works when people understand what husbands do, and in many cultures where they have strong and long marriages, they see it modeled.
Yes.
They see their fathers and grandfathers. Actually, they know how to cherish women and understand female emotions, and how to create a great environment for a woman to blossom.
Yes.
And then you have the woman then also understand. It's like, not every woman can help me.
Right. You gotta lift your perspective.
Okay. So not every woman can help me. Not every woman can add value to me.
Yes.
Because I have a particular assignment, and I need a particular type of woman who I can draw virtue from.
Yes.
A woman who can add value to me. The Bible says, and Jesus, that virtue left him and entered to the woman with the issue of blood, and she got healed and was made whole. Well, the virtuous woman, there was virtue in her, and the Bible says her husband sits at the gates, and her children call her blessed. That means there was a power, there was a wisdom, there was an understanding that she added to her husband that lifted her. So these really basically are the biblical roles.
Okay, let's switch it up a bit here. Let's talk about vision, marriage vision, because all of this is part, to me, comes on the heading of a cultivator. But as you said, marriage, we have different roles, because you play the cultivator, I'm the wife, to help me. So let's talk about marriage vision. What is a marriage vision?
Okay, first of all, you got to understand what is vision.
What is vision?
Okay,
that was
vision
my first question. I should have just started there.
Is a clear mental portrait of a future, of a greater future that is trapped in today. Okay, let's put it this way.
That's what I'm like, you gotta say that again.
Vision is not a daydream.
That's right.
Vision is a clear mental portrait of a greater future, or greater tomorrow, but it's trapped in today. So let me explain what vision is. If you go to the store and you buy a raw chicken, okay, trapped in that chicken is some fried chicken, and all she's got to do is take it through an oven and season it.
You take it to the oven first
No.
and then season it?
No,
You have some terribly tasty fried chicken.
That's me and my cooking skills. Okay, no. She seasons it, she cleans it, she seasons it, and then she puts it in the oven. Okay? I'm not that bad.
But also you fry chicken on the stove, not in the oven.
Oh yes. Baked chicken. Oh gosh.
What if you can do it in the oven? I don't even know myself.
No,
That's
baked
shameful,
chicken.
that's shameful.
That's baked chicken.
Oh my goodness, that's
So
shameful.
I'm talking about baked chicken, and
Yes.
baked chicken is done in the oven, and fried chicken is done on the stove.
Yes.
Now, so in that, when you look at that raw chicken, there is a really scrumptious tasting chicken that is waiting to exist. The picture of that is called vision.
Yes, wow, that's wonderful.
So,
Okay,
so a couple.
So you're going into the answer
Yes,
question.
yes, yes.
Okay, good.
So you can have a couple, and if they are really connected, there is a picture of who they can be
Yes,
that is within them,
yes,
and that is called vision.
yes.
So vision is a marriage vision is the future that a couple can have
Yes.
if they keep growing and developing.
That's right. It's not where you start.
It's not where you start.
It's not where you start.
So if you keep growing and developing.
Yes.
However, there are people who, if they keep growing and developing, they're going to go apart.
Yes.
But then you have people, if they keep growing and developing, they're going to have a wonderful future together
right.
because they are compatible and they fit together.
So wait a minute. So you're saying the persons who keep growing and developing and grow apart, that they're not compatible for each
They
other?
are not compatible.
Wow.
So let me give an
That's
example.
really important.
Let me give an example.
Yes.
If you take a actual baby Alsatian dog
Yes.
with a baby tiger and put them as puppies, they'll play with one another
Yes.
until they start growing.
Jesus, that's profound.
Now,
I like that.
I remember I was going counseling one day, and the Lord spoke to me and said, this couple that you're going to has a major problem. And I said, what's the problem? He said, a giraffe is married to a rabbit.
Jesus.
He said, that is the problem. He said, and if the giraffe sacrifices to have intimacy and union and
Wow.
fellowship
Yes.
with the rabbit, the giraffe is going to need a chiropractor
Oh my goodness.
because it has to bend over so bad to fit
Speaking of vision,
that it's
what
going
a
to create
vision.
pain. That's what God told me.
Okay.
So he said they are what? Incompatible. But when they were in their babyhood stage,
Yes.
they were compatible because a baby giraffe, I guess, very tiny, that's come out of the womb, would be able to play, okay, with the baby rabbit.
So I guess that answers my other question. A
Yes.
marriage really cannot survive without a vision.
No.
You have to have that vision, because then when you
Yes.
start growing, you realize that there's a giraffe and a donkey or something.
Yes.
Then
Absolutely.
that's problem. So that
Yes.
took care of the other question that I had here. Should each person have a separate vision, or you have one combined marriage vision?
One combined marriage
One
vision.
combined marriage vision.
In terms of what you want to create together.
So when we met, I know this is different, and I know you're going to tell me it's different, but I just want to say this just for the viewer's sake, okay? When we met, obviously you had a vision for the marriage, which you shared with me, but then we also had something, you had vows that you had for me. Was that vows? Yes. And then I had my own vows, which you said to me, well, you wrote yours first, and I was inspired by that. And then I wrote mine. You encouraged me and said, well, it'd be important that you write yours so that you can hold me accountable for these things. So that's separate. Is that a separate thing? Vows, writing the marriage vows and vision? Because to me understood it as it comes under one
vows
heading.
are the battery that powers the vision. There's no use having a vision without being committed to the vision.
Yes.
So you have people who say, I love you, I really love you, but I don't want to get married.
Yes.
We're not to get married. You know what that is? That is a relationship without vows.
Wow. Yes, it's true, because we always hold each other accountable for what we wrote, and you know, we as a matter of fact, I remember after a few years we revisited it and actually amended it, because we would have outgrown what, or I don't know if outgrown, but I guess met what we would have written, even though something like that. I remember we went back and amended it. So that's really good. So guys, you have to have a vision for your relationship, but you also have to have vows, because as you heard here, the vows will fuel, it's the fuel for the vision. That's really good. That's really good. What would help each person in creating a vision for the marriage? And let's say then maybe vows, then, since we've already mentioned vision, creating vows.
Well, vows are really what you promise each other and vow to each other on the day you get married. And those vows are important because...
Only on the day, because we created ours prior to the marriage.
But those vows you're really supposed to live by.
Yes, right. Yes, of course.
You're supposed to live them by and say them on the day.
Yes.
But they're actually supposed to mean something to you, and it's why you take the vows and give your partner a ring.
Right, yes.
Which is to say, this is the covenant. So you do the vows.
Yes.
And
not this time, babe.
But what you do,
that's why you have to renew the vows, because you've forgotten already.
Yes. You're so funny. Wait, let me see. Right. And so you take the ring and you actually do your vows. And here's the thing.
Wait, but that's on that particular day. But I'm saying we created vows
before.
What would you call that? Maybe it's not vows then.
No, they are vows.
Yes,
they're vows. Yes, they're vows.
Yes.
That we did.
That we did not say on the actual day. We actually had an exchange of our own vows on the day of our wedding. But on paper, we said, this is what I'm committed to do for you. In 5 years, I'll do this. You presented me with this lovely package that, I mean, how could I have said no?
I
mean, no one else had ever presented me such a beautiful package. You know what I'm saying? So I
am covenant oriented, because I know God is a God of covenants.
That's right.
And so I was absolutely serious, and I wanted my wife to know exactly what to expect from me, and exactly what I was going to give, and I actually wanted her to know that, because God is like that. God tells you, this is who I am, and this is what I'm going to bring to you. So for me as a man, it was very important that if she was going to take my name, she had to know exactly what I was bringing her to.
That's right.
So I made her aware, as the man, of this is what I'm bringing you to, so you understand that.
Guys, the vows were really good. I mean, I forwarded the vows to my sister, and I can trust her. I forwarded my vows to my sister just because I've never had that before. You know, in words maybe, but I mean, it was like so serious. It was like, you know, you in the court and you're signing these documents or something. So my sister said to me, it was so funny, she said, sis, I've never had a man read me vows. Any man now gotta read me some vows. But she's married now, have a wonderful marriage, so maybe he did write her some vows. I never asked, you know, maybe I should ask. But if you're watching, please let me know if you did receive those vows. But I thought that was really, really important to have, because it also helps us in the relationship to hold each other accountable for those vows. And we don't even have to say, but you promise this, and you don't. We naturally, because I mean, come on, we're spiritual people, we are kingdom people, we are for God, and we of God made His like this image. So we know that if we don't do this, it's a violation, you know. So let's move to the other question here. Yes, see, I knew I had something about down the aisle. Should a person even walk down the aisle without a vision or vows for their marriage?
No, they shouldn't, because the word marriage is a covenant.
Yes.
So a covenant is made up of visions, vow, and an altar.
Yes.
In which you make these vows public.
Absolutely.
And there are consequences if you don't fulfill them. So a lot of people don't want to have consequences, but if you really are really committed, you take a relationship to where you actually vow before an altar, be it a court,
Yes.
or a church,
Yes.
right? And you vow, and you make these vows to the person that you love,
Yes.
and based on a vision that you both have agreed.
Yes.
Is the vision for the marriage.
I think it's important too because as you're walking down the aisle, you're walking down the aisle with more confidence
Of course.
in your relationship. You're more confident in the relationship, not because that you've just received some sweet words on paper, you know, of someone saying that they're going to be committed to these things, but obviously you would have already tested, right? You would have already went to God and heard from him that this is your husband or this is your wife. So having that is just that extra boost of confidence that you have. And I remember for myself walking down the aisle knowing that this is somebody who I've never asked to do that for me, but on that paper it's almost like he answered everything that I was thinking that I did not say. So that helped as well. So any concerns, because sometimes and please don't ever be afraid to voice your concerns. If not when you're married, and now you then voice it, the husband can say, well, you didn't say that this is what you know, so he didn't trick you, you trick yourself pretty much. He didn't injure you, injure yourself, you know. So be bold and just ask, be direct in your communication and ask. What it was is I didn't not ask because I just didn't really at that time, because which is why I always like to say certain things. Sometimes you literally don't know, because prior to you I did not know some of these things were even necessary to have a fulfilling relationship. So again, if you don't know and you have someone who knows, you presented that to me, and you know, inside of me, because it's spiritual, it was like, oh wow, well yes, of course I need that. So at that point I recognized I need all of these things. If you can share one of the things that you had on that paper. I don't know why that just popped in my spirit. It's not a question.
I shared that I believe I shared that I will stand with you and stand with you in every battle of your life.
Yes, yes, and that's really important. Who wouldn't want to know that you have somebody who's going to stand with you with every battle? And we know that life can throw many, many battles at us. You don't ever want to do that alone. You don't ever want to fight those battles alone. Okay. Which leads to this question: can preconceived expectations ruin a marriage?
Of course. Unrealistic expectations can definitely ruin a marriage.
Yes.
Because and I believe the source of these are usually unmet needs.
Yes.
In the past.
Yes.
Like my wife is my wife, but sometimes there are people who, now God made us to have multiple relationships.
Yes.
Father, mother, friend, brother, sister, mentor. And sometimes if you don't understand this principle and have vacuum in all of these areas,
yes,
you can actually expect every love vacuum or relationship vacuum that you have in your life to be filled by your spouse.
That's right.
Which can then create a lot of unrealistic expectations.
Absolutely.
Like example, I mean, I should not be annoyed if you don't sit with me and watch football. Okay.
I've tried once, but it's not my thing. Yes, guys, we had a bit of a break. Oh, my battery actually is almost to the end. But you were ending by saying that you liked football, but you're not going to expect me to want to watch football with you because it's, you know, it's not something that I enjoy.
Because that's more for a male body.
Yes.
Yes, and so what happens sometimes, we have unrealistic expectations, and we want our partner to fill every relationship void that we have. That's right. Number one. Also, number two, we expect them not to be in construction.
Yes.
Because everybody is under construction.
That's right.
And so everybody is building and growing as a person.
That's right.
And sometimes you expect perfection from them. Obviously, there are particular standards that are just standards, yes, right, that you expect from a relationship. But then there are things in which people are actually growing.
That's right.
And so that's number two.
Yes.
And then the third thing is that it takes time to become one.
Absolutely.
It takes
we
time
are
to-
still becoming one.
Yes, it takes time to
I
become.
mean, when you think about it,
Yes, it takes
we are a
time
young
to-
marriage. We're
Yes.
6 years,
Yes.
going 7.
It takes.
We're still
It
becoming
takes time
one.
to become one.
Yes.
And it takes time, and so folks have unrealistic expectations.
Yes.
That as soon as they get married, that the partner would instantly configure, ideally and automatically to them.
But
And
honestly,
that does not happen.
it does not.
Because it takes, the Bible says that the two shall become one.
Yes.
It didn't say the two shall be made one.
No.
It said the two shall become one, which is a process.
That's right.
So when you get married, you are on your pathway to oneness.
Yes, but I think it's also a really beautiful process. Whether you have some ups, downs, in between, sideways, crossways, it's still a process. How you approach it is how you mentally, analyze it and,
Yes.
and thought it up. Because at the end of the day, we have had our process in growing and becoming one. We are still becoming one.
Of course.
But won't you say it's a beautiful process?
It's a beautiful process.
Absolutely. I would not trade it, guys, because it has helped us tremendously.
Yes, yes.
So look at it as something that will help you. Even in that process, it helps you. So we're ending the video now, guys. As I said, we want to keep the videos short. Have one more question. Well, mainly, basically just a tip. And Bishop Thomas is a talker. He's a preacher. Preachers are talkers, okay? So he's going to have to really be quick because we're at the end. What are your tips on creating a win-win vision for your marriage? For a marriage, your marriage, a marriage, whatever.
Well, the vision has to include the future that both people see.
Yes.
Because we don't die vision, which is two visions
Right.
that are in two opposite trajectories.
Yes.
We want to have one vision that includes your spouse.
That's
And
right.
both spouses are included in the future they want to create.
That's right. Awesome, guys. I hope this information was helpful to you and for you. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe, and to share it to those who need to hear it. So thank you so much for being here on the Nina Ear Show.
Good being here.
So give me some kisses.
Mwah.
Why are you kissing me on my cheek?
Mwah.
Well, I actually turned my cheek. I was just playing with you though. So yes, you've got lipstick. You've got lipstick on your mouth. Mwah. So love you guys. Excellence is a choice, and in all you do, aim for
Excellence.
excellence. Excellence. That's what I love. Excellence.
Excellence.
Oh my gosh, this is